Alright everyone, this is probably the final Big Gold comparison video that I will ever do. I'm not saying that I'm not going to do a single video where I might just take one of the belts and, do a super close-up or whatever. But this will probably be the last video where I compare all the Big Gold replicas that you can get your hands on. I have the absolute best, the Holy Grail, the Fandu Luxe Edition, dual-plated. I also have the regular Fandu Big Gold, dual-plated also. I have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship 4mm from the Figures Toy Company, also known as a Big Gold. Then I have the Figures Toy Company WCW Championship 4mm Ultra Deluxe on leather. And I have the latest WWE Shop WCW World Heavyweight Championship up there, which I believe is 5mm thick. So I'm going to go through all of them real quick, or as quickly as I can. First, I want to start with these Big Golds because they're the smallest Big Golds, and they're the WWE versions of the World Heavyweight Championship. This one actually has the WWE logo at the top. This one doesn't, since it's from Fandu, and they wanted to keep it all non-licensed and everything. This one from the Figures Toy Company, it's just a single plate, 2D etched, pretty simple design. The design is actually less complex than the other Big Golds, and I believe the actual plate is smaller. There is a curve on the main plate, and even the side plates have a bit of a curve. And then the wrestlers, the globe, the crown, the jewels, they're all relief pieces. So they're all separate pieces that are screwed into the plate and are kind of popped out. Though the crown and the globe seem like they're attached, because when you look on the side, it doesn't look like there's any gap. But then when you look on the back side, you take the plate off the belt, you can see that they're pretty much screwed in or bolted in or whatever. All the different jewel holders are also screws. When you look at the back, you can see the screw is exactly where the jewel holders are. So when you unscrew the plate, the jewel holder will pop off, and you got to keep that separately. You don't want to lose those, because then you won't be able to screw the plate back onto the belt. And the WWE World Heavyweight Championship actually has bigger red stones, rubies, false rubies, whatever you want to call them. I think these stones are bigger as well. And the globe was just like a straight circle, and then they etched some latitude lines in there. And then the continents have just a tiny bit of, bubbling to kind of show the topography or whatever, the continents, the mountains, and all that. But that's pretty much it for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's just okay. Then you go to the Fandu Luxe. Like I said, it's pretty much based off the WWE World Heavyweight Championship design. The etching, that leafage, floral design, or whatever you want to call it. It's not as intricate as the other Big Golds. But the globe, the crown, even the jewel pieces are a lot more domed and popped up and raised up when compared to any of the other Big Golds. So they're like definitely big relief pieces. The wrestlers, they're definitely relief pieces too, but they don't seem to pop up or even dome out as much as the other pieces. And then speaking of a dome, the Fandu main plate of the Big Gold, I would say it's dome shaped. It's not just curved this way, it also seems curved this way. And of course the side plates are curved as well. And you can unscrew it from the back. There are a ton of screws that go all around. I would say the next best WCW championship is from the Figures Toy Company. I previously reviewed a 2mm version. This is the Ultra Deluxe 4mm version on a leather strap. But it's pretty much the same thing, just a thicker plate. The etching is not as deep as the WWE Shop WCW Championship. And the shallow etching is really the biggest thing that kills it for me. Everything else about this belt is spectacular in my opinion. The crown actually has more detail in the etching behind the jewels. It's supposed to kind of like etch outward like a kind of shining diamond. The globe has texturing on the continents, and the actual globe itself is pretty much like a straight piece of metal, and then they etch 3 tiny lines latitude, and then go down a little bit more, 3 tiny lines, go down a little bit more, 3 tiny lines, and that's how they make the globe. And then the wrestlers are really popped out and super detailed, probably the best detail out of all of the championship belts. The WCW championship from Figures Toy Company probably has the best detailed wrestler relief pieces. But they are obviously relief pieces because they just pop out so much from the main plate. The globe pops out quite a bit, or the crown pops out quite a bit as well. The globe, not too much. And the jewel pieces, just like the WWE Championship from the Figures Toy Company, are separate pieces that screw into the belts, or screws go into the bottom of the belt, sandwich the main plate between the strap and the jewels and screw and all that. And that's how you pretty much attach the jewels onto the main plate. But they stopped selling the WCW Championship jewel holders for some reason, although they're still selling the WWE World Heavyweight Championship jewel holders, which are a bit bigger than these ones, WCW ones. Side-by-side comparison, the best I could. But just look at the difference that they made between the WCW Championship and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. There's less detail in the etching, the globe was completely changed, the jewels were changed, the crown seems to be changed a little bit, and of course they changed the directions of one of the wrestlers on the main plate. All the other wrestlers were the same, and the detail just wasn't as great as the original. It's still pretty good since it's Figures Toy Company, but I feel like the original WCW Championship has better detail. And now moving on to the WCW World Heavyweight Championship from the WWE shop. The plates are actually 5mm thick, which is thicker than the Ultra Deluxe Figures Toy Company, but it is so much lighter compared to the other Ultra Deluxe belt, because I believe the plates are hollow when compared to the Figures Toy Company Ultra Deluxe 4mm plates. And of course this is the faux leather, which is also lighter. But anyways, the deep etching is really the best part of the entire WCW World Heavyweight Championship, again from the WWE shop. The deep etching is absolutely the best part. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Because the relief pieces are huge. Again, the wrestlers on the original WCW Championship, they're pretty big anyway, so I'm not going to go too much off on that. The globe is way bigger than it used to be. Too big, in my opinion. The texturing of the continents, it's okay, though it doesn't seem to catch the light the same way that the Figures Toy Company version did. And then the globe behind the continents, it's like a solid piece of metal, and then a bunch of tiny, lines, but they're extended out compared to the original. And honestly, I hate the change in the design of the globe and that cheap texturing behind the jewels in the crown. See, look at this texturing from the Figures Toy Company, and look at this texturing on the crown and the globe. And then when you look at the jewel holders on the WWE shop, it's just a single plate with 2D etching with very little detail. But the Figures Toy Company, those jewel holders have a ton of detail because they're completely separate pieces. And finally, we have the Holy Grail, the mother of all big gold replicas, the Fandu Luxe Edition. And of course the price reflects that epic detail. The cheapest one is $750 for the all gold version. This dual plated version is $799, plus taxes of course. And when you look at the two, you can see even the one from Figures Toy Company, the one from the WWE shop, it doesn't matter. It's just a single plate with 2D etching. That's pretty much a drawing of the original Big Gold design and etching, which has a sort of concave V shape, which just reflects all the light back at the camera. And it is just beautiful in every way compared to every single replica except the detail of the wrestlers. Only the WCW World Heavyweight Championship Ultra Deluxe from the Figures Toy Company, or even non-Ultra Deluxe, even the regular 2mm thin Figures Toy Company WCW Championship, those wrestlers have so much more detail compared to even the Luxe. They are a lot more bigger and a lot, popped out relief pieces when compared to the Fandu Luxe, but the detail is just better. There's no other way to put it. That's the only thing that I like about all the other versions over the Fandu Luxe. That it has all that extra detail in the wrestlers, the 4 wrestlers throughout the 3 plates. But that's pretty much all I have to say about all these big golds. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. You can also give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or appreciated it, and subscribe to see more championship belt replica reviews or other collectible reviews. Sometimes I go to conventions, check out more collectibles, see some wrestling Hall of Famers, try and get their autographs, take videos, pictures. I also take pictures of all my collectibles and put them on my website, hxchector.com. That's hardcorehector.com. So you can see each collectible in super awesome, epic detail. Still motion, of course. This is just my video review. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment or whatever. See y'all later. And as always, keep on collecting.